It's Your Point of View with George Williams on FmTALK 106.5. Call George now at 343-0106. Now, here's your host, Senior Vice Chairman of the Alabama Republican Party, George Williams.
Good evening, everyone out there in Radio Land. We're so glad to be back here on a Friday. Our number here is 251-343-0106, or you could drop us off an email at yourpointofview@att.net. All right, there's a lot happening, and we're going to have a pretty good show tonight. Folks, what we're going to be talking about are fortified homes, okay? These there's a company, and you will hear them advertised on this station during the show. The company a company builds fortified homes in the United States, and it's a new type of building that has not been here in the States. So this is the first home that is ever being built in the United States, and the name of the company is Defender Technologies Incorporated, and also Defender Homes Incorporated. All right, so we're going to have Riji Dixon. He is the CEO of that company, and he's going to be talking to you about these homes. And there is a couple homes being built in Gulf Shores on the Peninsula Golf Course, and we're hoping to have a housewarming for the first home that was built, that is being built in the United States. Okay, so they'll be here, Ken Brown and Riji Dixon. They'll be talking to you about this type of home, because we want everybody to have this type of home in the United States, and they'll be telling you about it. So they'll be our guests. All right, as we always do, we like to tell you who our sponsors are, because without them, we wouldn't be here. And our first sponsor is Defender Technologies Incorporated, and you're going to be hearing from them. You're going to be hearing from them in a very short period of time, and they're going to explain to you about this new type of construction, building fortified home, stormproof homes. And there's one that was built in Gulf Shores on the Peninsula Golf Course. And let me tell you, if you want to see a fortified home, this home is about 2,800 square feet, but it weighs over 550,000 pounds. That's a heavy home, and that home will protect you, folks. Okay, not only is it fireproof, it is bulletproof also, and up to 200 miles an hour windproof. So this is the home of the future in the United States, and we want everybody to live safe. The homes that they're building now, forget about them. Forget about them. First thing comes off is the roof, and the home is gone. Okay, we have Riji Dixon has created a brand new technology dealing with the roofs. Now, these homes over the last 15 years have been built in the Philippines, and if you go on the website defendertechnologies.net, you will see some of the homes that were built that are built in the Philippines, how they withstood the cyclone that just hit about 3 weeks ago or a month ago in the Philippines. Those homes are still standing with minimal of a very small amount of damage. Okay, but the homes are still there; they're intact, and there should be some pictures of those homes.
If you want a safe home that protects you against tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, and is fire resistant, then you need to call Defender Homes Incorporated in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Make an appointment to see this newly innovative building system that will protect your family. Homes built using Defender's technology will withstand winds up to 200 miles per hour and will lower insurance rates as well as utility costs. Plus, the homes are mold-proof, waterproof, and termite-proof. Information available online at defendertechnologies.net or call 251-752-4697.
Welcome back to Your Point of View with George Williams. To get on the show, call 343-0106. Now, here's your host, Senior Vice Chairman of the Alabama Republican Party, George Williams.
All right, welcome back, folks. As I was telling you before the break, we are going to have the CEO and the consultant to the CEO and the CFO for Defender Technologies, and they're going to tell you about this new home, this new building, construction of new type homes and commercial building here in the state of Alabama, and it's going to be all over the United States, really. So first, I'd like to introduce Ken Brown. Ken is the consultant to the CEO and CFO of Defender Technologies, Defender Homes. Ken Brown, welcome.
Thank you, George. It's a pleasure to be with you this evening. In fact, I was looking forward to this interview. We do appreciate it very much.
Great. I just felt that it was so important to let the people know what's going on in the United States as far as the new type of construction for homes and for commercial and different types of structures.
Yes, we have the first Defender home built in the United States. It's almost completed, maybe another week, and it'll be completed. About 3 years ago, a doctor friend of mine introduced me to this technology. At that time, I was thinking about doing a commercial building here.
Okay.
And he introduced me to someone that said that they built homes worldwide. It was new technology. And this, and I was also pursuing a possibility of doing a project in Chile. And he told me that these homes were virtually they were earthquake resistant. Of course, Chile has a lot of earthquakes. I said, well, that's very interesting technology. So I started my due diligence on this technology, and it took me about 3 or 4 months, maybe longer than that. And I said, this really does look good, but I'm not a builder. I need to get someone who has the ability to build a home. Mm-hmm. And I had met Riji through tennis, and I've looked at the homes he builds here in Gulf Shores, and they're prestigious homes. I mean, he's probably the foremost builder here, I think, of prestigious homes in this area. And of course, Riji is extremely bright. He has a master's degree and 2 undergraduates. So he has the intellect to understand technology. So when I showed this to Riji, he immediately recognized the potential. And from that point on, we started, our own due diligence together, which was about several months. And eventually, we decided to go to the Philippines. And so Riji and Larry Phillips, our CFO, went to the Philippines to get firsthand knowledge about this technology. That's where it was developed and invented. In fact, the inventor is Mark Taylor, a very astute, very intelligent engineer. And when he met with Riji and saw Riji's websites and checked Riji's background out, he immediately said, okay, you're my man. And so Riji and Larry came back to the United States, and shortly thereafter, Mark gave us exclusive rights for the entire United States for this technology. And once that happened, we put together a syndication, and we have private investors, accredited investors in our syndication right now that have put up some funds to help get us the company started. And of course, they have an interest in the company, small interest in the company right now. And Riji designed, and he and his wife Lynn designed this beautiful home that we've just about finished here in Gulf Shores. Mm-hmm. And we're going to use this home as a showcase home mm-hmm. to bring in other builders, and Riji's going to talk about that. But, without me spending a lot of time, I think that you want to hear from Riji because he's the man in charge of the company. He's the CEO of the company, and he can tell you exactly what we plan to do about the technology, about how it saves lives. But so I'm not going to spend any more time talking about this. I'm going to turn it over to Riji, George, if that's okay with you guys.
All right, great. Riji Dixon from Dixon Homes. How you doing?
Hi, George. How you doing tonight?
Great. I'm glad to have you guys on to talk about this unbelievable home that you're building.
Yeah, we are so excited about it, George. Let's think about America here. Here in America, we pride ourselves on high technology with our iPhones, our iPads, all the latest and greatest technology. But, George, the most important and the most expensive thing that us as Americans spend is our home.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, building with wood is totally obsolete now.
What was that?
Building with wood is totally obsolete now.
Okay.
It's over 100 years old building methods.
Okay.
George, they're no match for tornadoes, for hurricanes, for Mother Nature, such as fire, mold, termites. In fact, George, many countries around the world won't even let you build with wood because of all the problems associated with wood that I've just mentioned. George, back in '96, when I was living back in Arkansas, Lynn and I, in Fort Smith, kind of like Tornado Alley right there.
Okay.
And one night, a strong F3 come to town, destroyed about, I think, around 1,800 homes, killed a few people. And the home I built, knowing we were in Tornado Alley, I built it as strong as possible with wood. I didn't use 2x4. I used 2x6. I even stacked them close together, strapped them multiple times, did everything possible I could do as a builder to make that home resistant to the wind. George, I'm going to tell you, it was no match for that tornado. It was a very strong F3 in the high 190 mile an hour, and our house was just twisted. The roof tore off. It was a frightening thing. My wife and I got separated. The door slammed, and I could hear her yelling, and I couldn't get to her. And things were just, the roof was coming off. It's a life-changing event right there. And as bad as that was, with our home totaled, we had to fight the insurance company for a year, not knowing if we were going to be able to get back in the house or not, or where we're going to live or where we're going to build. And I never want anybody to have to go through that experience that we went through. And since '96, I've been trying to find a better way to build a home because wood is just not strong enough for the winds and for Mother Nature. And until this time, there have been other ways of building, like with concrete, but they've been more on the pricey side, and most Americans just aren't willing to go of that extra cost. But we have a new system. Like I said, we went overseas to get, and I'd like to give you a little example of how superior, and we call it, it's a Defender protective wall system. And the walls are what's so important to protect families, your spouse, your children, in storms. Let me, right now, this model home we're building, George, is 2,400 feet, Give you an example, some easy math. The exterior walls of this home, not including the roof, weigh approximately 9,000 pounds if it was a 2x4 wall, design. If it was a 2x6 wall design, it would weigh about 12,000 pounds. And, George, that sounds like quite a bit of weight.
It does. It does.
But when you consider the circumference, the big mass that it's trying to hold down, it's really not very heavy. The Defender protective wall system, it doesn't weigh 9,000 pounds. It doesn't weigh 12,000 pounds on this 2,400-foot home. But the Defender protective wall system weighs over 160,000 pounds.
Whoa. Just the wall?
Just the walls. It's a very heavy protective weight that it prevents what's called uplift.
Okay, Reggie.
Yes.
I will ask you to hold on until after we come back, and we'll continue this very important conversation, okay?
Thanks, George.
If you want a safe home that protects you against tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, and is fire resistant, then you need to call Defender Homes Incorporated in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Make an appointment to see this newly innovative building system that will protect your family. Homes built using Defender's technology will withstand winds up to 200 miles per hour and will lower insurance rates as well as utility costs. Plus, the homes are mold-proof, waterproof, and termite-proof. Information available online at defendertechnologies.net or call 251-752-4697.
Welcome back to Your Point of View with George Williams. To get on the show, call 343-0106. Now here's your host, Senior Vice Chairman of the Alabama Republican Party, George Williams.
Welcome back, folks. This is your host, George Williams, and our telephone number here is 251-343-0106, or you could drop us off an email at yourpointofview@att.net. All right, we're talking to the CEO and the special consultant for Defender Homes, Defender Technologies, Riji Dixon and Kim Brown. Riji, you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, great. Before the break, you were telling us the makeup of this type of construction, especially the walls.
Yes, we're talking about protective walls and how on this particular system versus the 2x4 and the 2x6 walls being at 9 and 12,000 pounds, that the Defender protective wall system weighs 160,000 pounds.
Wow.
And with that heavy weight, George, I should say that heavy protective weight of the Defender wall system, it prevents uplift. And what uplift means to the clients and homeowners out there, that's what causes destruction on the house, is when that wind lifts up, flexes the walls, and it blows the roof off.
Okay.
And then all the damage starts, or totaling your home, or maybe even causing harm to the families inside. Mm-hmm. George, the heavy weight of this Defender system is your friend in high winds. Mm-hmm. It's built to withstand tornadoes, hurricanes, and is also very fire resistant. And unlike wood, it is mold and termite proof. Mm. George, using the Defender protective wall system will give you a safe, secure home for your entire family. Mm-hmm. And I just don't know a price you can put on that, George, to save the lives of your spouse and your kids.
Definitely. Now, you're building homes. Now, what if someone has a home already, okay? Yes. And they need some type of protection, either inside the home or bunker type in the back on the property, so they can run to it. Can you also do that?
Exactly. Yes, we can. We cannot retrofit a house that's already built because this system is so much heavier. The current structure won't withstand the superior weight of this product. Okay. But we can have one right beside it that they can go to that will keep them safe in tornadoes and hurricanes. And there's a possibility of even building a safe room inside of a home, also with a system.
Okay, let me read something to you. I'm looking at the internet, and I heard this on the news the other day. Okay, and it says in Whiteville, North Carolina, police are investigating a shooting they say happened in the early morning hour. Mm-hmm. According to investigation, an unknown suspect fired a gun into the home located in 200 block of that city, on that street. The bullet went through a bedroom where the child, a 1-year-old child, was sleeping.
Oh, that's terrible.
Investigators said there was also another woman in the house at the time of the shooting. Okay, and this is what you call drive-by shootings.
Yes. And
that's what also interested me in this type of a home, because HUD and FEMA and some of the other agencies, and especially the military. And another thing, and I want to hear you talk and not me talk, but if in Benghazi they had this construction, the ambassador would still be living, in my point of view.
Yes, that's correct. It's again, the way we build here in the United States is not even acceptable in many of the countries around the world.
Right.
The Defender Protective Home System is designed to protect families inside. Mm-hmm. They are bulletproof. Mm-hmm. They can withstand all handguns and even an M16.
Right.
So your home is bulletproof. Mm-hmm. And so that's something, of course, the stick cannot do. One engineer that examined this system inside out, saying comparing the Defender protective wall system to our old obsolete stick building methods is like comparing a Ferrari to a skateboard.
Right. And that old stick building method is what's being built right now, correct?
Yes, unfortunately the same as it was 100 years ago.
Okay. That's not good.
No, it's not good. And it just takes a learning the new way. There's always a learning curve, George, with anything that's come out.
Right.
And with this method, once builders find out how easy it is to build, this method is easier to build. George, it's faster to build.
Okay.
And we can build this to any style. And we, right now, are eagerly looking for more builders. We're having such a demand, people calling us, inquiring us about wanting this new system. We give free training to builders to learn this system. We do have the rights to the United States, and so we sell the system to the builders. So anybody has a builder that they really like and say, hey, we want to use our builder, well, we want you to use your builder.
Okay.
We will show the builder. They'll come here to beautiful Gulf Shores, be trained, and then they'll be certified. You have to be certified before you're allowed to have this system. This is a premium product, and everybody will be trained correctly before they're allowed to have it.
Right. Now, another thing, and I've been down to the house. I've seen it, and I've observed you guys building the house. There don't seem to be a lot of people around while you're building it. I mean,
no,
cool.
It doesn't take as many people, George, as you say. It doesn't take the traditional building equipment, I should say. There's hardly any saws at all. There are no nail guns in building this system. It's a simple track system that you set these panels on. It reminds you of, George, freezer panels.
Okay.
And the freezer panels are set up, by the way, we set up a home that was almost 3,000 feet, and we set all the exterior walls up ready to go in 8 days.
Wow.
And we're already past the insulation stage. We're past the sheetrock stage. This system replaces the sheetrock on the interior of the exterior wall. It's just a fascinating system. And the nice thing about it, George, it's been proven. Of course, we have the first ones here in the United States. We're doing 3 right now. And, of course, I would ask the legitimate question of anyone, well, does it have a track record?
That's correct.
And so that's what I would want to know.
Right.
But I'm here to tell you some really good news.
Okay.
This is developed by a world-class engineer over in England, and this is almost 15 years old, but it's never been in the United States. We're kind of the old school, George. Daddy built it with wood, Grandpa built it with wood, and that's how I'm going to build it. But now the insurance are starting to come into play, and they're kind of almost punishing us for building old way compared to the rest of the world.
Right.
Just to give you an example, we're talking about insurance here real quick. I'll get back to the other area.
And I was definitely going to bring that up. Insurance as well as the utility bills.
Oh, exactly. We just got a couple of quotes on this home. It was 60% off what a wood-built structure is.
Whoa.
That's amazing. That saves a lot of money. The heating, air, I will say it will be a minimum of 40, if not 50% off of what a stick-built home is.
Wow.
But let's get back to, hey, is it proven? Has it been around? What's the history of this? Well, again, George, it's been around approximately 15 years. It's in 15 countries. Approximately 50,000 of these structures, homes, duplexes, and businesses have been built around the world.
Wow.
So it's been around. It's not new. We're using tried and true method. The structure, of course, is concrete.
Okay.
And I don't know about you, George, but when I think of concrete, for some reason, I think of cinder block.
Right.
I don't know why, but I do.
Right.
Just to let you know, this home does not have one cinder block on it.
Wow.
There's no such thing as cinder block on these homes.
Right.
But it's just an amazing, amazing system. But the good thing about it, it has really been tested under a terrible tragedy that happened. You're familiar with the Philippines, George?
Yeah, and I spent some time in Southeast Asia.
Well, about a month ago, they experienced the worst land disaster to ever hit any major body of land in the world.
Right.
They had a super typhoon. They experienced something, George, I pray we never have here in the United States.
Right. All right. Riji, we'll be back.
Yes.
Okay. Folks, we're here with Riji Dixon, and he's the CEO of Defender Homes, Defender Technologies, and he's talking about storm-proof, fireproof, bulletproof homes that are now being built in the U.S. We'll be right back, folks.
If you want a safe home that protects you against tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, and is fire resistant, then you need to call Defender Homes Incorporated in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Make an appointment to see this newly innovative building system that will protect your family. Homes built using Defender's technology will withstand winds up to 200 miles per hour and will lower insurance rates as well as utility costs. Plus, the homes are mold-proof, waterproof, and termite-proof. Information available online at defendertechnologies.net or call 251-752-4697.
Welcome back to Your Point of View with George Williams. To get on the show, call 343-0106. Now, here's your host, Senior Vice Chairman of the Alabama Republican Party, George Williams.
All right, welcome back, folks. We're going to continue with Riji Dixon. Riji.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us about the Philippines.
Yes. A month ago, the Philippines experienced the largest wind disaster ever to hit any mainland. Mm-hmm. Imagine this. Imagine our very strong tornadoes that are like an F4 or F5.
Right.
They're very, very strong, but they're also a very narrow path.
Right.
What that was over there was like an F4 to F5 tornado, but the size of a hurricane.
Okay.
George, it's something we've never experienced over here, and I pray we never do. We're not built to withstand something like that, and I don't know the devastation, the homes and the families, if something like that were to happen. Yeah. But when we start building with a superior method, our families can be safe. Mm-hmm. And that's something that we're striving to just make people aware of. There is a new, better way of building, and it's affordable, and it's going to save lives.
Right, and that's what a lot of people are going to going to be asking. What about the price? Is it much more expensive? And you just said it's
actually,
affordable.
George, we're doing the model home we're doing right now. Matter of fact, if we built that with wood, there's actually the true cost to own a house. It isn't that mortgage insurance, but it's the mortgage insurance, and the heating and air, correct? There's
right.
Three things
mm-hmm.
most everybody pay every month: mortgage insurance, heating and air. This particular house, because of how the big discounts, the 60% discounts we're getting with the insurance and with the large discount on the heating and air, your monthly cost would actually be less on this Defender protective wall system than stick. What do you think about that, George?
Yeah, I think that's fantastic.
This is that unusual opportunity that, like one of the engineers said, you can have the Ferrari, and won't cost any more than a skateboard.
Okay, I got you.
And the nice thing about what people also think about too, George, well, is it cold? Is it ugly? That's the things I think of. Somebody think of concrete. Mm-hmm. Well, we are showing how beautiful and warm and, of course, safe a concrete home can be. And we welcome everyone to this home. It's at the Peninsula Golf Course here in Gulf Shores.
Right.
And we would love to show it to everybody, show you how warm, how safe, how you can just tell how well the home is built. And again, we can build economical ones, and of course, the luxury ones. Mm-hmm. Everybody asks, well, what's this cost per square foot? Well, of course, builders kind of hate that question because there's so many variables. Our wall system really won't make that much difference one way or the other. What makes the difference per foot is, do they want the travertine floor or do they want the Home Depot tile?
Okay.
Do they want granite or they want Formica tops?
Right.
All those things like that is what really makes
that's what make the cost go up, correct?
That is.
Okay.
It's not going to be our wall system.
All right.
And but it's affordable. It's safe. That's the main story we're trying to get out. It's going to save lives.
It's going to save lives. I agree. Yeah. All right, we got about another minute. How do people contact you or get a hold of our the representative for the company to come and look at the home?
They go to our website. We have a couple, defenderhomes.net.
Okay.
And we also have defendertechnologies.net.
Okay.
They can call me. Here you go, 251-752-4697.
Okay.
Be glad to meet them out there and let them tour the home. We're looking for builders to train freely. There's no charge for that. Mm-hmm. We just totally and fully believe in this product, and we want to share it to have superior built homes around the United States.
All right. Okay. Riji Dixon from formerly of Dixon Home, now the CEO of Defender Homes. So, Riji, we're glad to have you to talk to our audience about this new type of house that definitely will save lives in a disaster-prone situation.
Well, thank you so much for having us tonight, George.
All right. So, and we'll have you on again to talk more about it. I know next month you're having a housewarming. I know the governor has said that he wants to be there, and as soon as we get that information, we're going to put it out to our listening audience. Okay?
Man, I really appreciate it, George. Thank you very much.
All right, folks. Riji Dixon and Ken Brown. All right, folks. That's about it. We'll have to see you here next week at the same time with a very interesting show and programs. Until that time, we'll see you. And as we always say, Vicon Deus, everybody.